Please welcome Zero.
Thanks. All right, it's great to be here with everyone in person. So in every industry, I'm sure we all know this, there's a gold standard. If you think about consumer electronics, it's been Apple for a long time. Now as electric vehicles have grown to prominence, Tesla has been the gold standard. But if you think about homes, there really is no gold standard. There's not a house or a builder that people aspire to have someday. We think about custom homes or expensive homes, but today there is no gold standard. I'm Riley. This is Zero. We are a tech-enabled home builder, and our mission is to create that gold standard for the home. Oh, which button? Do you want to do the clicks?
Yeah, I'll do that for you.
Or
Clicker.
okay. So we're still mostly in stealth. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek into what Zero and our product Zero Home is, and how we're looking to make Zero Home the gold standard. So you can go to the next one. So what makes Zero Home different? What makes it worthy of being called the gold standard of the home? There are 4 things that I'm going to focus on today that make Zero Home different. Next. The first one is Zero Home is energy neutral. This is the most important thing to us. It's the reason our company is named Zero. We want zero energy homes to become the gold standard for homes in the future. Right now, 0.03% of homes in the US are energy neutral. Next. The 3 things, though, that people actually care about, the sad thing is, like, people don't buy products because they're sustainable. They buy them because they're great. So I'm going to spend most of the time talking about the 3 reasons that we think people will make the mass adoption of Zero Home and of energy neutral smart homes. Next. The first one is unique design. So if I show you these 3 cars, put a smiley face over the logos, I'm sure you guys can still figure out who made each of these 3 cars. But these 3 homes were each built by one of the top 3 builders in the United States, and I'm sure if I asked any of you to tell me who built that home, you probably wouldn't know. But we want to change that. We want to build homes that turn heads, that are associated with our brand. We've been spending lots of hours working on these homes. We're not going to show them just yet, but we will soon, that are associated with Zero and associated with this brand. The next thing is an incredible user experience. So Zero Home is the first home designed and built like a device. That's the main difference between Zero and other homes. Zero Home is technology native. So Zero, unlike other smart homes, rather than having 10 different devices inside of the house, 10 different apps that you had to set up on your own, Zero Home is technology native. It's incredibly easy to control everything inside of the home, from turning on lights, closing shades, turning on the shower, opening the front door, all through 15-inch touchscreens that are in every room, the app on your phone, or voice control throughout the house. It's incredibly turnkey. You don't have to set anything up. You just move in, walk up to a touchscreen. You can control everything from day one. And it's incredibly reliable. The entire home operates locally. The house is the device. It's not needing access to the cloud, so you don't have to worry about your data that's being collected inside of your home ending up into the wrong hands. You also don't have to worry about AWS going down and your smart refrigerator not working anymore. And finally is the rapid purchase. So starting next year, you'll be able to go on our website, choose your lot, choose your floor plan, choose your interior, exterior styles, choose your technology package, make your reservation right there, and get a free 3-night stay in one of our Discovery homes. The first of which is getting built starting next month, just outside of Yosemite. So here's a render of the house. It's a 4-bedroom home, and any of you will be able to go online and reserve the home for a 3-night stay. So the question is, if you can make a great house, how do you get it into the hands of everybody? Scaling is incredibly hard in this industry, and it's something that we've thought a lot about. So first off is the plan. We're starting off with short-term rentals because it allows us to get a lot of people exposed to our product. That's one of the hardest things about building a brand with a home. It doesn't happen organically. Normally, builders have to go and acquire another builder to move into a new area. We want to make it easy for people to get exposed to our product from all over the world through these short-term rental stays. We've partnered with a short-term rental company that's purchasing the homes from us. We've already had $1.5 million in deposits for these first homes, about $7 million in contracts with about $15 million more in the pipe. Next year, we'll start building homes for the general public, starting off with a few show homes that people can walk through. We'll sell these as spec homes. And then we've been talking to larger builders to start building our first communities of zero homes in the coming years. Once we've proven that this is the type of house that people want to live in the future, that's when we'll move to factory production. We feel that it's extremely capital inefficient to build a factory, to build a prototype, to then find out if people want to buy your product. So we want to establish that this is the home of the future before we invest the time and capital going into building a factory. And finally, our team. So there's me, my co-founder. He was one of the first engineers at Vivint Smart Home, which is now a public company. They have smart home systems all over the world, and we have a couple other awesome engineers. But we've assembled a great part-time team as well. We've been extremely methodical in terms of how we've put together our team. We've thought about the problems that we'll have to go through, whether it's the technology inside of the home, the land acquisition, building the homes themselves, and we've brought on experts in each of those areas to help it make it a less than impossible challenge to move the world toward more sustainably built homes. So that's zero. We're currently raising $2 million. We have just over $1 million committed. We're talking to a couple potential lead investors. If you'd like to take them head on, let me know and we can talk.
So I like the energy neutral idea and concept.
Thank you.
So I'm still going to ask some numbers. So what's your pricing strategy, and what's the top line number and gross margin number like at scale when it comes to factory level, for example?
Yeah, factory level is going to look very different than it does today, so I'll explain both of those just very quickly. Right now, we're in the multi-million-dollar per home sale price. This is the sale price where people are already spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a Crestron or Control4 system. So we're replacing this kind of piece by piece of a really expensive home with a really expensive system. Right now, we outsource all of the construction, so we get about 10% on the sale of one of these homes. So a $3 million home puts $300,000 in our pocket. In the future, we hope to move more towards 30% margins. The standard for a larger builder is between 25 and 30%, and we're trying to get to the $500,000 price mark as soon as we can. That's the price of the house. Obviously, depending on where you are, land costs more in some areas, but house before the addition of land, we're looking at $500,000.
Okay, so I have a question about your phase one model. You mentioned that you're building like a short-term rental. So you had several $1 million committed, another 13-something million in the pipeline. Who are those investors? What's the relationship with the property on the build?
Yeah, so these aren't investors. This is the short-term rental company that is purchasing homes from us. So they've put down deposits for us to go ahead and build the homes for them.
They have the land, then you guys then hire GC or somebody to do the real work.
Correct. Yeah. So like this lot in Yosemite, it is under our ownership through a subsidiary LLC, which acquires a construction loan to finance the construction.
Okay, got it. When you see you want to build like a hunting residential home, who's the owner of this home?
Of the homes, you're saying like leading up to construction?
The residential home, who's the owner of the home? Who's the final owner?
So we're selling to just direct to consumer.
Okay.
So this would be like if you think about like Lennar building a community, they acquire a piece of land, they have a set number of models. Somebody comes in, chooses their lot, chooses their model, puts down a deposit. That's what finances the construction loan on that property. So yeah, we do the land acquisition. That's the main difference between us and other startups and kind of like the future of housing space.
So this means on the phase two, your primary is more like a developer.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Hey, Roddy, welcome to the Bay Area.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be back.
He's traveled
from Utah, yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Great product, great idea. I love net zero, and a few questions for you. So, how do you have any growth projections, any financial projections in your mind that? How do you see yourself scaling, especially given the fact that contracting is not something that you guys are doing in-house, and that's the biggest bottleneck?
Correct. Yeah, so right now, in the near term, we are up to our necks with the contracts that we already have. We're a small team. We're working on 2 projects right now with another 7 in the pipeline. So we're taking on those with the short-term rental company. In terms of the next stage of development, we've been talking to larger builders about potentially partnering together, a couple nationwide builders as well, where we would identify a location together. We would design the homes, they would build them, we'd sell them to the customer. A lot like, I think they call it a merchant builder, where they are doing all the work on the back end, they get a cut of the pie, but they don't have to deal with advertising or actually selling the homes. That would be up to us. We would be the consumer-facing aspect or part of that. And obviously we're developing all the technology that powers the homes as well. So yeah, that's how we plan to move into stage 2, is through partnerships with larger developers who are already building.
Thanks.
So I know some landowners in Texas and California, maybe Hawaii. I'm trying to understand the model to work with. Eventually, if you acquire land, you need a lot of cash. From investment perspectives, investing land is very different. And how do you work with existing landowners?
Yeah. So one of our advisors is the founder of Cul-de-sac. They have raised something like $250 million to fund the development of their first community. We have been very much following a similar playbook there, where we're having to pull together money both through equity and loans to finance the acquisition of the property and then finance the construction. But we're using a OpCo-PropCo model where we create a separate LLC that raises the capital and then finances each one of these new developments. We can go further into detail if you want to afterwards. I'm getting the red card, but I'm happy to dive into all the details. It's hard to explain fast.
Thank you, Riley.
Yeah.